lightning. You ready?
Oh yeah, lightning's ready.
Years ago, Cars was a really successful franchise for Pixar, but what happened to it so far? Since the Cars 3 release, people assume that the fourth movie won't happen due to the last movie's poor box office. It was the lowest grossing in the series about Lightning McQueen. So, should we start to worry? We're gonna talk about everything in a few seconds, but before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
What? Everything changed when the rookie showed up.
Cars 3 tells us the story of Lightning McQueen, who gets lost in the desert town on his way to a race and is forced to complete community service before he can go home. He ends up falling in love with a small town, and many people liked the adventures that happen to the cocky race car. Even though Cars 3 received good reviews from critics and positive reactions from the audience, its numbers were noticeably down from the second movie. Cars 3 has a relative success, but compared to the other Cars movies, it was poor. Just to make it clear, Cars 2 grossed over $560 million in 2011, while Cars 3 took in over $380 million. Of course, that was not bad to see numbers like this, but it showed that the audience's interest in the Cars franchise has dropped. One of the reasons was the fact that the films never addressed what happened to Doc Hudson, voiced by Paul Newman. Paul died in 2008, and the production company just left him out of Cars 2 and Cars 3. For some reason, fans opened the discussion about it once again, since many of them were still dismayed by how Doc's character wasn't tied up in either Pixar sequel movie. Even though he was shown in the flashbacks in the third film, some fans were quite upset. Sure, this is not the biggest mistake that made people not want to watch Cars 3, but it definitely influenced the entire release of the movie and the future of the franchise.
You do want to keep racing?
Are you kidding? Of course I want to keep racing.
There's no official information about Cars 4, but we think that it is still possible. However, even if the fourth movie is going to happen, it won't arrive anytime soon. Moreover, it looks like Cars 4 is not even in Pixar's plan, because the most recent movies to be released are Inside Out 2, which is coming out June 14th, 2024, and a few of Pixar's sequels to their biggest properties like Finding Dory and Incredibles 2. Moreover, after Toy Story 4 was released, their producer said that the studio is going to focus more on developing original projects instead. So, does it mean that Cars 4 won't happen at all? We're gonna break it down in a few seconds, but first, let us know your thoughts about it.
You're driving a little tense again, Ronald.
No, I'm cool.
Do your exercise.
Back in 2017, the producers had a discussion about the Cars franchise, and they seemed very excited. Like any sequel from Toy Story 4 to Incredibles 2, as long as there is a good story to tell, it's worth investing. We do love these characters. We love them as much as the public does. Owen Wilson has also talked about a possible return for another Lightning McQueen sequel, suggesting a radical reinvention of the racing series. I would imagine if they do another one, it'll be something pretty cool. But yeah, maybe like Lightning McQueen in a sort of like thriller. Maybe that could be something. But it seems that things did not go beyond excitement, because it's been a few years already since they talked about it the last time. However, the Cars franchise has a huge following and its merchandise sells incredibly well. The Cars series ranks high and its merch gives a very good profit. Back in 2012, Forbes listed Cars as raking in an enormous $1.05 billion. But is it enough to reassure the studio to make another Cars movie? Difficult to say.
Go through the entire field in 3 laps?
You want to beat Storm or not?
Yes, of course I do.
Let's imagine that Cars 4 will happen, so what's going to be the film's focus? Some critics assume that everyone is a bit done with McQueen's racing and they want to see something new. Of course, McQueen is the face of the franchise and the Cars can't do without him, so the red racing car might just be relegated to the background. When Cars 3 introduced Cruz Ramirez as Lightning McQueen's trainer, for many it was a sign that this girl will take his spot in the franchise. This is actually what happened in the movie. She took his spot in the final race. Cruz might become the new racer, and Lightning McQueen has a chance to become her mentor. Back in 2019, the Cars 3 producers said that they could see Cruz's Cars character involved in a possible version of Cars 4 if she ends up being a breakout character in Cars 3. But there were some past comments that suggested otherwise. In 2017, Ryan Fee, the director of Cars 3, said that he has no idea what's going to happen to the franchise, but he still thinks that anything was possible. I actually don't know the future of the franchise. I don't know where we'll go after that. I don't know if we'll make one. If we do, will it be more McQueen? This is the third act, but I don't know how many acts he has in his life. Will other characters be the main characters? At this point, I have no idea. I think anything's possible.
We need to loosen those ancient joints. First, the wheels, and forward, and rest.
Toy Story is another franchise that is loved by so many people worldwide. However, Buzz Lightyear's solo movie Lightyear was a box office flop. It had $200 million budget and grossed only $224 million. This is incredibly low for a Pixar project, but it might help Cars 4 to get on the big screen. How? Well, Lightyear wasn't an entirely original movie that could be perceived by the studio as an idea to create more and more sequels. Even though Buzz Lightyear comes from Toy Story and everyone thought that this would help sell tickets like crazy, Lightyear proved that this isn't the case. So now there's another question. Is the era of the franchise sequels over for Pixar? Or will they give it another try just to see what's gonna happen? Some assume that Inside Out 2 will answer this question, and if the film performs well, there's a big chance that Cars 4 will get a green light.
Hey guys!
What do you think?
What do I think? It's unbelievable!
It is really difficult to predict Pixar's plans and especially the future of the Cars franchise, but we can still at least analyze upcoming projects that are heading to the theaters in the next few years. The first movie we'll watch on a big screen very soon is Elemental. It's coming out June 16, 2023. It's a new film about a city where creatures are made of different elements, like fire, water, land, and air, and they all live together. The main characters are the opposite of each other. She is made of fire and he is made of water. The movie will be directed by Peter, and many expect this project to be one of the greatest and most impactful tearjerkers from the studio. Whether a Cars 4 movie ever gets made or not, it seems that audiences will have plenty to look forward to regardless.
Okay, I get it.
The new you has to look for opportunities you never knew were there.
The Cars on the Road series appeared on Disney Plus on September 8, 2022, and this gave all Cars fans hope that very soon Pixar will make an official announcement about the Cars 4 release date. However, as we all know, this didn't happen. The studio had been silent since then, and as of 2023, there's still no news about Cars 4. Even though Owen Wilson has kind of confirmed that he'd be up for another entry, it still doesn't mean anything. Other than that, there's nothing heard of Cars 4 since the Owen Wilson interview that happened back in 2017. We know the news might not be very pleasant, but we can still hope that very soon we will hear something about the next Cars movie. Even though it won't happen, there's always a chance that the Cars franchise will be continued with the Disney Plus spin-offs and shorts. Do you think the Cars 4 will eventually happen? If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
I need you first thing Monday morning for a photo shoot.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Sterling.
Whoa! Hang on now.